Hello, this is Queen F Speaks of Ari'ze Women Network. Anything I'm about to say is not reflective of Ari'ze Women Network and is totally my opinion. And this is for entertainment and for educational purposes. But yeah, we really need to talk about what's going on in America, in urban America. Actually, it's happening in all communities just about. Violence. When will it stop? Running away, leaving a bad situation. Are we running away? We need some new rejuvenation. Yes, we need to sometime run away. Now, back in the day, I was a poet, honey. I wrote an entire book of poetry. I performed with many artists from Malik Yusuf, many artists I've met. I've met the President of the United States. I've been in publishing for over 20 years. I have taught at various schools in Chicago about nonviolence, written plays. I've done a lot, and I'm not bragging. I'm only saying this to say that it took violence at my doorstep many years ago for me to walk away. And sometimes we have to run away. It's just so unfortunate. It really is. But we've got to talk about it. And we've got to figure out what are we going to do about the violence in America. Violence in urban communities. Violence now hitting the suburbs, small towns, mass shootings, random shootings, fights, one-on-ones. Many people getting together on social media and deciding to go and terrorize a neighborhood, downtown Chicago, small communities everywhere. There is violence, and we've got to talk about it, and we've got to come to some kind of conclusion about, baby, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? So I'm going to take a short break, and I will see you guys in a minute. Let's talk about it. Join us on the Rise Women Network, where our special guests will be speaking about economics, gentrification, colorism, film reviews, health and wellness, reparations, celebrity news, and entrepreneurship. Thank you, and be sure to tune in. And I'm back. I decided to do this particular podcast because I really didn't feel like, even getting online. There's so much going on. As they say, it's a whole lot going on out there, baby. I want y'all to be safe out there. Because this is not a good week for my family. Actually, last week, close friends, relatives from my kids' side of the family, their dad, um, sister, who was such a dear heart. She would watch my twin boys, and he would take them over there some weekends and give me the weekend off. And they would have a good time with their cousins. Well, one of their cousins, who is an adult now, they're all adults, he got shot about a week ago. And I just learned about it. And it's very sad. It's been on my heart, laying heavily that this beautiful young man is gone. Rest in peace, Kevin T. Bird. Rest in peace. You know what? But this young man, he left behind some beautiful, beautiful offsprings. Talented. Three of his sons just graduated from high school. They're star athletes. And he and himself was a star athlete at Simeon High School. Kevin Thunderbird, rest in peace. Diane Thunderbird, God is going to hold you up like He always has. This is really hard. It's hitting home, baby. It's hitting home, y'all. No, it's just really, really sad. The violence that is hitting urban America. It's always been violence, though, particularly in Chicago. We're from Chicago. And I remember as a young girl, now I had to be no more than 12 years old. I would say even 11. I got jumped by a group of boys. We used to live in a project, so down on like 48th and State Street. And I was just coming from the corner store. And I'm talking about 3 or 4 boys older than me. They were teenagers. They jumped me. I was a little girl. It scared the hell out of me, baby. I had never got traumatized like that. And my mother raised 10 kids, and I've seen some little whippings now. But this was bad. You know, I ran home and mom passed me up, and everybody kind of encircled me and protected me from that day. I was the baby of the family and the baby of the family, and they were always instructed to look after me, and they did to the best of their ability. But as we get older, we have to learn to fight and fend for ourselves, and it's just unfortunate that as we get older, we learn that, we start wearing rose-colored glasses. This is the first blind spot. We think everybody's heart is like ours. We think that people won't hurt you. We believe everything someone tells us. We believe that the world sometimes is not as bad as it seems, but yes, baby, it's bad as it seems. Blind spot number 1, I say, is take off those rose-colored glasses, because sometimes the enemy could be your closest friend. People can hate and from a distance or close up. Some people just want to know what you're doing so they'll know your next move. And some people are hating that some people are more successful than them. So please, please take off your rose-colored glasses, because, baby, we don't know what happened with our loved one who got shot down just going out to his car. But somebody know what happened. So let's talk about what nobody wants to talk about. There is violence in our community that needs to stop. There's violence in America that needs to stop. Anytime people can walk into a school and shoot up a school and shoot up babies and teenagers and teachers, it needs to stop. What are we doing? Are we protecting our people? We holler about the 4th of July, our independence from England, from Britain. Ooh, hoo, hoo, whoop-de-woo. What have we done with our independence? Are we now shutting others down with privacy, enacting robots to, actually take away their privacy? Now we've got robots that are asking us, are we robots? You go on a website, it'll ask you to plug in what pictures are on that particular board, so they'll know you're not a robot. A robot is asking you Are you a robot? So America is like it to me, we're not we're not as advanced as we thought we would be, as I thought we would be. But yet we want to implode on other people's rights and privacy. And then we've got, like I say, the violence that is just going haywire. We are allowing things to happen in our communities and in our country and in our states that should not be happening. There's no way that a person will walk out to their car and get shot and nobody knows what happened. But yet we've got cameras everywhere. Don't we have cameras? We have satellite. We can find somebody when we want to find them, can't we? So, like I say, this young man, he's a very sweet man. He was a star athlete in his high school. Kevin Thunderberg, he played baseball. And then, as he got older, he had a family. And he has 3 boys that are star athletes that are headed to college on full scholarships. So you know what? He may be gone, Kevin, but he left a legacy. So checkmate. He's good. He fulfilled his purpose. We don't know how long we have on this earth, but as long as we're here, we are responsible for fulfilling our purpose. We've been given pieces of a puzzle, but we are the architect. We have to decide what we're going to do with that picture. Are we going to paint a good picture, or are we going to take the pieces and cry about the pieces? Oh, look, I was born and wasn't raised by my mother. I wasn't raised by my father, or I was neglected, or I didn't grow up rich. I grew up poor. Well, so what? What are you going to do with those pieces? What picture are you going to paint on that canvas? So the violence, though, against humanity, against these people, God-given, powerful people that are sent here to make life better, they're swiping, and the Lord entity is taking them away. And we've got to fight for our family. We've got to fight for our loved ones. We've got to pray. We've got to cast out these demons. We've got to do all that we need to do to protect the Black family, to protect the white family, whatever family you come from. You are responsible. You've been given the God ability, to cast down, to raise up, to say to that mountain, be thou removed. But you know what? Speaking of removing, sometimes we have to remove ourselves from a situation, remove ourselves from a community. There is a war against Black men and Black women. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to cry about the pieces that are given to us? Or are we going to do something about it? There's a war against family. I call it the incredible shrinking Black family. Oh, what happened? A lot happened. The 60s happened. Civil rights, segregation, integration, integration. Give or take. People say integration was good. Some people say integration was bad. You choose your side. But you know what? It's time for us to act like humanity, human beings. The animals are doing better than us, baby. The animals are showing us up. There is a war against people having, the ability to create families. And I'm not against the LGBT, whatever community. But baby, we've got to keep the lineage going. Now, if you want to adopt kids, do what you got to do. Surrogate, however way they do that. But there is a war against the Black family. It is the incredible shrinking Black family. Okay. And then we got the violence in America. Like I say, the young man who's a family member, he lost his life for what? For nothing. He just walked out to his car. Now, I don't know if it was random. I don't know if it was a grievance. I know that his family, his sons were doing good. They were doing all kind of write-ups in the newspaper. Sometimes people are jealous. Sometimes people that you think are your homies or your loved ones, it could even be the person you sleeping beside. You could be sleeping with the enemy, baby. Some people just have hate and love in their heart. Not they have hate and they have love. Sometimes it's a battle within themselves. People are battling within themselves and they're projecting it out on other people. But we've got to figure out what we're gonna do, baby. We've got to use our God-given power to start bringing down these curses that are put against the families, that are put against the people of the world, we are the people of God's people, rather. We've got to use our God-filled power to cast down generational curses, the enemy, the Lord entity, whatever you want to call it. We've got to cast it down, baby, because he's out here to kill, steal, and destroy. But he's not going to win. Hey, good evening, sis. This is my sister, Emma. Good evening, Queen F. I agree. Amen. Now, this is the queen right here. I'm going to tell you now. Speaking of violence in the urban community, she was one of the first women that had got, besides, I'm sure, the 60s and the 50s and slavery. But when my sister was younger, she got jumped on by the popo. And baby, this wasn't right. This was not right. Whatever she was doing, they could have subdued her, but they actually, a couple of women went in the cell. And I'm sorry to tell your story, sis, but I gotta tell it. She's got a story to tell. My sister has a book in her. She got abused, she got traumatized. And sure, they're good police officers, but at this particular instance, they were corrupt. They weren't doing what was right. So like I said, there's violence in this world that needs to stop. It needs to stop. Okay. We got a lot of hurt here, and we got a loved one that just lost his life. He was only 32 years old. Like I said, we got people that are jealous of success that other people have, but they have no idea what a person went through for that success. That young man, Kevin, you don't know what he went through, hell and high water, being a young black man, growing up fatherless. There's a Kevin Sr. His father died when he was a kid, But he went on and he became a star athlete, and he did his thing. And look what happened, out of nowhere. But like I said, the enemy want to kill, steal, and destroy. Yep, it is okay, sis. Now, my sister's got a heart of gold, baby, because right now, some people, their hearts will be hard as stone from things that she's went through, but she has a heart of gold and has taken care of many people, kids and stuff, So, some people, what you give them, they'll take and do what they want to do with it. Well, she decided to love. So we could, walk around with hate, but it's time to walk around with love. It's time to help these young people. It's a lot of young people that are angry out here. People, they're giving guns to these young people, and they don't know what to do with it but shoot up, the schools or whatever. And then we got the A1. AI is technology. There's an attack on the millennials because AI is going to start really going to be the new teacher, just to be honest. The new teachers that are going to be teaching and putting ads and promotions in front of their face. Hey, get the new PlayStation, get the new Xbox, get that, all these gadgets, all these phones, the iPhones, and all this and that. It's just a distraction. When really we should be out in nature. Nature is what's going to ground us. Yes, R.I.H. Kevin. Rest in heaven, Kevin. Amen. A1 is, the AI is kind of taking us away from, like I say, the nature. We need to get out there, earth it, ground it, take our shoes off in the ground, and let the earth and energy and the sunshine embody us. That's what we need to do. But yeah, I wanted to get on here briefly. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this another time, but we got to break generational curses. It's a lot that we have to do, but mostly we need to pray. We need to pray for our loved ones that are out there because, baby, the enemy wants to kill, steal, and destroy. So keep your family members lifted up in prayer. Use our God filled power to do all that we can do. Everything is within us. All the years was in church and stuff, we listened to the biblical and the scriptures, but we missed the mark. And sometimes people didn't teach us that the power is in us because God said himself, greater is he in you than he that is in the world. The God in us. That's why when people say, I am God or God is, that's what they're talking about. We're not trying to be better than God. It's just that God is in us. We have just as much power to take down and bring down and cast that, like Jesus cast that fig tree and made it die because it did shield him from the sunshine. We have that same power. You know, cast anything aside that is not like God. So break the generational curses. Keep praying for our loved ones. And we're going to keep talking about the violence in America. Maybe we have to do a petition to get these schools protected, to get these young people and all these cameras that are on the streets of Chicago and urban cities and large cities. Let's get these cameras, baby. Let's see who's doing the shooting because there's a lot of myths going around. Some people saying it's a police shoot. Some people say it's some people coming from different communities shoot. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes it is us. It's the people in the community too. Let's come forth and let's be honest. There are people that are just pissed off and angry because they don't have the life that they thought they should have, and they want to take away what's little bit that somebody else has, not knowing how hard that person worked to get what they have. Let's just be honest. It's a lot of jealousy. It could be jealousy even within your own family. People are just jealous because of what they don't have and what others have. Some people mad because they was born poor. They grew up poor. But they don't know the hell their parents went through in the 60s and the civil rights and walking to the back of the bus with 5 and 6 kids. My mom had 10 kids. And she said that she'd get on the bus one by one. There'd be 5 kids, one toward the middle or the back of the bus. And some people look, had their head, nose stared down or whatever. But it's a lot our parents went through for us to have the luxury that we have today. But somebody want to take away what little bit you have. So that young man, Kevin, we don't know what happened, but you know what? I say, baby, give me the trigger man's name. I ain't gonna do nothing though. Queen F ain't gonna bust a great, but you know what? I could manifest anything, baby. I could break down in the spirit. And let's get those satellites. Let's get the cameras. Let's see who the hell was. If it was somebody from another neighborhood or whatever, or whoever it was, they need to be held accountable. Because she took a precious life. Whoever was, they took a precious life. They really did. But I'm going to let y'all go. I just had to get on here. I am so blessed that I have like 6 new subscribers. I finally got out of the 430 something 98. I'm at 400. We're at 410 subscribers. Emma is one of the producers. We have 410 subscribers. If we can get up to 500 more subscribers, we can start monetizing. We can bring better content, and we can do more documentaries. So June is Black Music Month. Anybody that wants to put their podcast, their speaker.com, anything on here, and do a shout out, let's do it, So I'm going to get on off of here. Now, what you're listening to is called After the Storm. Of all the things that it could be called, this is Smokey Smother, my niece, the little Smokey Smothers, who is a videographer and beat maker. She made this beat right here you listening to. And you pull that volume up. It's called After the Storm. Isn't that beautiful? So Emma, that's Emma's daughter. Smokey Smothers. Yep. So I'm going to get on off here. This next image I'm going to show, and I'm going to get on off here. is a time lapse of the Sphinx in Giza. The Sphinx is a woman. A lot of people don't know that. The Sphinx, that statue in Africa with the nose broken off, that's a black woman. So you know what? More power to us, baby. We're gonna pull down in the spirit. We're gonna bring up everything that needs to come down and rise everything that needs to be risen. Arise Network, Arise TV. I Woman, I Rise. We're gonna keep rising, baby, y'all. We're gonna let nothing bring us down. Thank you, sis. Powerful message. I love you so much. This is my biggest supporter right here, honey. I can look at my Cash App and I can see my sister been giving to my network. She had been supporting, and that's what we need. Documentaries. She supported, produced 2 documentaries, her and her husband. Her husband gave me this laptop I'm using right now, Victor Wells. Bless his heart. He has blessed so many kids in his home and brought them in and sheltered them, him and Emma both, foster parents. So that's what I'm talking about. We beating the enemy in the head regardless of what he did to us in our past as kids. The abuse, trauma, everything we went through. It's okay. It's all right. Because you know what? God ain't going to put nothing on us that we can't handle. He wouldn't have brought it in our life if we couldn't deal with it. It molded us who we are today. We took the pieces and we made the masterpiece out of it. And that's kicking the enemy in the head. And we're going to keep doing it. Okay, sis, thank you. I love you. And thank for all my background listeners. I know you're back there and you probably can't tap in because you don't have a stream or a YouTube account. It's unfortunate that you have to have a YouTube to make a comment. But anyway, share the video, like the video. If you like to give to the network, hit us up on PayPal at Ari'ze Woman. PayPal me, Ari'ze Woman. Or you can Cash at me at $Queenef Ari'ze 3. I'm gonna get on off here, honey. I just had to jump on here and let the enemy know he has not won. Heaven has turned it over 3 times, baby. We got 3-star athletes who are headed to college on full scholarships, playing baseball. So you have some new baseball leaguers that are going to be famous coming from the Thunderbird loins. That's right, Emma. Save the babies. I'm going to send this to Diane a little later. I know she's going through right now. Y'all please keep the Thunderbird family in your prayers. They will be laying Kevin to rest this Thursday. It's going to be hard, baby. It's going to be hard. But you know what? God got our back. He's put more in us than we can handle, than we know. Love you. Good night, sis. Good night, all my background listeners. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share. And I thank you guys, and you be blessed. Join us on the Ari'ze Women Network, where our special guests will be speaking about economics, gentrification, colorism, film reviews, health and wellness, reparations, celebrity news, and entrepreneurship. Thank you, and be sure to tune in.